Hello, hello, my fabulous, feisty, and fragrant dragon friends. My name is Ariel. I am the Sassy Dragon, back with another perfume review for your enjoyment. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me here, and I hope you enjoy this review. I always appreciate you coming along for the perfume journey that we are on together. This is a relatively new one today we're going to be looking at. This is On a Date by Maison Margiela, and it is a fruity floral launched intended for both women and men. It is a new fragrance. The nose behind this is Carlos Benaim, and I looked up his resume on fragrantica.com to see what other perfumes. This guy has quite a collection. He's actually got over 200 fragrances registered on fragrantica.com, and including some of my favorites, such as Givenchy's Very Irresistible and the extremely popular Victor and Rolf Flower Bomb. He was also one of the noses that helped create the new YSL Libre and several of its flankers. So he's definitely got some experience, big time on fragrance. The only other perfume he ever did for Maison Margiela was Promenade in the Garden. I think that's what it was called. So this one is supposed to capture the atmosphere of a perfect date in a unisex fruity floral. So let's go ahead and spray this on, and then we'll continue to talk about the notes and its makeup as we let this breathe a little bit for us. It does open up, ooh, very nice. So rich, intense black currant is the opening. A black currant syrup, it says. So this is probably going to be, ooh, that is nice. I love, as you might know if you've watched a few of my reviews, I do love a black currant. So we're definitely getting that. It is not a sweet black currant, which I'm actually quite happy about. It's got a little tartness to it. There's pink pepper and bergamot as well in the top, so I'm definitely getting that little spiciness from the pepper. There's a little bit extra juiciness and radiance from the bergamot. The middle notes, I can already tell coming out, there is definitely some rose. There's some geranium. And I was really curious about how they would do the geranium in this when I read the notes, because geranium is one of those notes that if you don't do it right, it can be really overbearing. It can take over the fragrance really easily because it's this very strong, kind of almost lemony citrus floral. And so it can be rather sharp. But I think they've handled it quite well. It actually, to me, blends quite seamlessly into the black currant, which is probably what's taking away some of the syrupiness of it and making it a little more tart. So I actually really like the way the geranium is playing with this black currant in there. It also has Divana, which is it's a more green sort of scent. So it definitely has that freshness, even though I wouldn't call this a green scent. The base notes are moss, patchouli, vetiver, and musk. And so far they're hanging back a little more discreetly because to me, vetiver especially can be very strong, very earthy. It's almost like the big sister or big brother of patchouli, it's like vetiver is like whoomp, depending on how much you put of it, just like patchouli can be very strong too. This is really nice. I've got to say I like this a lot at first sniff. It is not overly sweet or toothacheingly, sappy or syrupy or sugary. It's not like a candy floral. Even though it has the fruit, the black currant is gorgeous in this. It firmly cements how much I love that note. Yeah, I really like this. I'm surprised. I didn't know I would like it so much because the reviews that I'd seen of it were a little bit mixed. Some people were saying they really liked it a lot. Some people were saying not at all, and they didn't enjoy it. But I think it really has to do with your personal taste because this has a lot of things in it that I do like. But it's the way that it comes together, of course. It's the way all the notes play in that song. That's the way it comes out for us. But I like this a lot because it's fresh, it's a little fruity, but it's a tangy fruit. You've got a little bit of that rose in there. I don't know how I feel about this on a date though. Like, I don't know if I'd wear this on a date. It's supposed to make us think of that. Let me read the full description again. The memory in a fragrance captures a day in Provence. I've never been to Provence, so maybe that's the problem. In 2014, this is a very specific year, with the scent of grapes and roses, but I'm not getting grapes from this at all. There's fragrances that definitely scream grape to me, but this is not one of them. I'm definitely getting this nice kind of sweet tart black currant. I'm not getting grapes at all from this. I'm not sure where they were going with that. There's definitely rose in there. Summer evening, good bottle of wine. This is the fragrance interpretation of a perfect romantic date with a view of the beautiful vineyards. The composition opens with the black currant. The whole thing is rounded off by bergamot oil and pink pepper. After that, sparkling notes of rose come together with davana and geranium. Patchouli, which unfolds last, together with vetiver and musk, give it that deeper sensuality and keeps it grounded, in my opinion. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've smelled that reminds me of this. But not quite. There's things in it that remind me of other notes from other scents. But the way that it all comes together, for me, is rather unique. Haven't smelled anything quite like this. Definitely not for a while, if I have. I think what makes this one a winner in my book so far is really what's happening with the blackcurrant and the geranium, because it's just so nice. It's like, geranium again is a hard note to blend, but I think that along with the bergamot, because bergamot can be kind of bright and sunny too, but the way that it's all working together is great. It actually, you know, even though it doesn't smell like grapes, I'm starting to understand the vineyard connection now, because I have been in vineyards. And yes, okay, I'm getting that. All right, so there you go. We've got the earthiness, which reminds me of being out in nature, you know, and being out where, you know, where you have a garden, have the vineyards, you know, it has just that base of earthiness. You get a little greenness and freshness from the bergamot davana. So you're getting a little, just, it's not a green scent, but it is that scent of having, you know, that fresh greenery around you, but then you have that fruitiness, and of course the roses are the romance. So yes, that's very interesting how that's drying down. I get it now, guys. It does not have a grapey note at all. It's not going to smell like a grape candy if you try this one out, but it definitely makes you kind of feel like you're either in a vineyard or kind of a fruit garden, and maybe there's a bit of florals. Yeah, and you're on a date. So maybe you're wearing your rose perfume that blends with all of that. Maybe your date brought you roses if they know what's good for them. And that's beautiful. I like this one, guys. So give it a shot. Depending on what your favorite kind of notes are, you may or may not like it. It's, you know, I think this really is a perfume that you're going to like or not like depending on what you enjoy the most, because this is definitely not like a super sweet, sugary or vanillic, you know, kind of gourmand. Not at all. It's kind of like a slightly green and fruity, tangy floral with a little earthiness. It's very nice. I think it's quite unique. It's not quite like anything else I've smelled in forever. So I'm gonna give it 2 dragon claws up. Tell me what you think about it. I'm not sure what I would say about the longevity or the projection on this. It is an Eau de Toilette, not an Eau de Parfum. I have tried other Maison Margiela fragrances in the past, and I would say that their longevity is decent for an EDT. It almost lasts stronger and longer than some Eau de Parfums out there. I think it's a relatively strong Eau de Toilette, if that, you know, helps you at all when it comes to how long this may last for you. So have a great day, guys, or great evening, no matter where you may be. Tell me your thoughts below. Also tell me if there's any fragrances you would like me to review in the future, and I will be seeing you very soon. Take care.